Chapter 10, Mishnah 8. The final Mishnah of the Tractate teaches what properties a lender can collect as payment for various types of loans. If someone lends his fellow money with a document, that is, at the time the loan was made, the borrower gave the lender a loan document that was signed by witnesses, which recorded the amount and date of the loan, he may collect the loan even from sold properties, which are real properties, land, that the borrower owned at the time of the loan, but sold to someone else afterwards. This is because when a person borrows money, any property that he owns is pledged to repayment of the loan. If he sells his property after making the loan, the lender can collect it from the person who bought it, as long as the loan was made with the document. Since the document was signed by witnesses, the loan becomes public knowledge, and anyone who purchased land from the borrower after that date should have known that there was a lien on the land. Therefore, the buyer has only himself to blame for buying the land and must surrender the land to the lender. However, if the loan was made in front of witnesses but no document was prepared, the lender may collect only from free properties that are still in the possession of the borrower. He may not collect from properties that were sold by the borrower. Since there was no loan document, the buyer had no way to know that there was a lien on the property he was buying, and the sages decreed that in such a case, the lender is not allowed to take it from the buyer. Similarly, if the lender produces for the borrower his note that he owes him the money, that is, he shows the borrower a note written in the borrower's handwriting, an IOU that the borrower had given him, he may collect the debt only from free properties that are still in the borrower's possession. Although there was a document, the IOU, in this case, since it was not signed by witnesses, it did not cause word of the loan to become public knowledge, and the loan therefore cannot be collected from sold properties. Another case where land may not be collected from buyers. If the signature of a guarantor appears after the signatures of the witnesses on a loan document, and the lender comes to collect the loan from the guarantor, he could collect only from free properties that are in the possession of the guarantor. Even though the loan itself was recorded in a document with witnesses, the obligation of the guarantor, which appears after the witnesses' signatures, is considered to be only a verbal obligation, since the witnesses did not attest to it. Therefore, buyers of the guarantor's property may not have been aware of his obligation, and the lender cannot collect money from them. The Mishnah relates that such a situation actually arose, and two Tanaim disagreed as to what the law is in such a case. An actual incident came before Rabbi Yishmael for judgment, where the pledge of the guarantor appeared in the loan document after the signatures of the witnesses, and he ruled that the lender could collect only from the free properties of the guarantor, as the first Tana of the Mishnah stated. But Ben Nana said to him, "No, the lender may not collect from the guarantor at all, neither from his sold properties nor from free properties that the guarantor possesses. The guarantor is not obligated to repay the loan at all." Rabbi Yishmael said to him, "Why do you rule this way?" Ben Nanas replied to him, "Consider, if someone was strangling a person who owed him money in the street because he was not repaying him the money that he owed, and his friend found him there and said to the creditor, 'Leave him alone and I will pay the money,' the guarantor is exempt. That is, he has no obligation to pay, because it was not due to trust in the guarantor that the creditor lent him the money." Ben Nanas holds that since the loan was not made on the guarantor's say-so, the pledge to repay the loan does not legally obligate him to do so. In the case of a guarantor whose pledge appears after the witnesses' signatures as well, since the loan was made without the guarantor's pledge, he is not obligated to repay the loan at all. Ben Nanas explains when, in his opinion, a guarantor is obligated to repay the loan. Rather, which guarantor is liable to repay a loan? One who says, "Lend him the money and I will give it to you if he does not repay the loan," is liable to repay the loan, because it was on his say-so that the lender lent the money to the borrower. The guarantor legally obligates himself to repay only when it was his pledge that actually caused the lender to grant the loan. Rabbi Yishmael praises Ben Nanas. Rabbi Yishmael said, "One who wishes to become wise should study monetary laws, because there is no area of Torah that is greater than they, for they are like a bubbling spring. And one who wishes to study monetary laws under an expert teacher should serve Shimon ben Nanas."